Hare Krishna. Hari Hari Bol. So kirtan, kirtan, everyone.
So this is the place where Sri Chaitanya Prabhu crossed the Ganges and he went to Katwa to take sannyas. So now, Her Grace Karunamoyi Mataji is here and she will speak about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's sannyas. And we'll go back, then we'll go back to Triveni Sangam. So, Prabhuji, so Mataji will speak something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's taking sannyas. Okay, so now I request everyone, please sit down. Please sit down, everyone. Please be seated. So this is the place called Nidoya. Means there is no kindness. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left this place like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left this Navadip, Antardip, and he went to Katwa to take sannyas, and he never come back here in this Navadip physically. So now I would request Her Grace Karunamoyi Mataji to speak something about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's taking sannyas, and we'll go back to Triveni Sangam. Hare Krishna. So big Hari Bol for Mataji. Hari Bol!
Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavas, can everyone hear? Can everyone hear? So here, by the mercy of Mayapur community sevaks, we are floating on our beloved Mother Ganga. And this is where, here at Nirdoya, as Prabhu mentioned, Mahaprabhu swam across to Katwa to shave his head and take sannyas, much to the great grief of all of the locals who had developed a very deep attachment to their Nimai Pandit, to Vishwambar. And Nirdoya is called as such. The locals began to call it Nirdoya, Ni, without, Doya, compassion. They said Mahaprabhu had no compassion because he was leaving their association. So as we know, the Ganga moves back and forth. She's always moving. So in the time of Bhaktisiddhanta, Nirdoya, what we know, the Ganga was closer to Yogapit. And Bhaktisiddhanta had taken a vow to chant 1 billion names of Krishna. And he did this over 10 years. So the numbers is 192 rounds a day. So how long does it take us to chant our 16 rounds? So Bhaktisiddhanta had taken a vow to chant 192 or more rounds a day. So Ganga Mata was closer to Yogapit, and this is where Bhaktisiddhanta stayed for 4 years, where he was chanting these rounds before he launched his preaching mission, which he had been instructed by his spiritual master and his father. So he was there chanting, and then after 4 years he was given some land over at Chandrasekhar Acharya's house, which is now in Chaitanya Mat. And it was called Vrajapatnam, which means where Vrindavan becomes manifest. And we can see there, if you visit Chaitanya Mat, which is where Bhaktisiddhanta's Samadhi is, that there is a Govardhan hill. There is a Radha Kund and there's a Shama Kund. So Vrindavan indeed has manifest there. So Chandrasekhar, according to the Gauranga Dipika, is an incarnation of the moon god. So we're very fortunate to be even mentioning his name this full moon day. while Bhaktisiddhanta was chanting at Nirdoya for 10 years, he was observing Chaturmasya, which means he was eating only khichdi every day, no salt, no spices, and no plate, no thali. So whatever he would make, he would put it on the ground, and he would bend over with his hands behind his back, and he would eat this khichdi like a cow. And whatever he could eat before he needed to take his next breath, that is what he would eat for that day. So this is here at Nirdoya. And we understand, again, just to recap, that this is where Mahaprabhu left the association of the locals who loved him very much, and his mother, Sachimata, and his wife. And he climbed into the water, and he swam across over to Navadweep, and he walked to Katwa, where he shaved his head and took sannyas. And his maternal Arya was one of the 5 witnesses to this sacred ceremony. So we can understand that this was a very big step that Mahaprabhu was taking, yet an entire community, an entire village was devastated in separation of Mahaprabhu. Nirdoya ki jai. Mahaprabhu ki jai. Vaishnav Sangha ki jai.
Notes. We can meditate that Lord Nityananda used to swim in this Ganga here, and he swam with crocodiles. And the local villagers, they would come to watch him, and they'd be very traumatized. Oh no, Nityananda will be eaten by the crocodiles. But Nityananda was actually in the mood of Ananta Shesh. He's actually Guru Tattva. He is Lord Balaram, and Ananta Shesh holds up all the universe. So Nityananda was lying on his back, playing with the crocodiles right here, where we're floating down the Ganga. Keep in mind that the Ganga traveled from the hole created by Lord Vamandev, traveled through the heavenly planets, the Milky Way, and Lord Shiva caught the Ganga in his hair and slowed her down, and then she entered through the Himalayas, and here we are in the holy Ganga. Shri Ganga Mata ki.
Yeah.
So Lord Chaitanya came back from sannyas in Katwa with Lord Nityananda, and he was in a place called Radhadesh, which is along the Ganga. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in such ecstasy that he thought he was in Vrindavan. And he saw a cowherd boy, and the cowherd boy in this area, he blew on his bugle, his horn, buffalo horn. And Lord Nityananda went into a complete ecstatic trance. And he thought these were cowherd boys playing with Krishna. He thought he was in Vrindavan. So Lord Nityananda said, yes, you're in Vrindavan, you're in Vrindavan. And so when Lord Chaitanya came to the Ganga here, he was in such a mood of Vrindavan Prema Bhakti that he jumped into the Ganga thinking it to be the Yamuna River. And he was just swimming around thinking, oh, now I've attained Vrindavan. Here I am in the Yamuna where Lord Krishna would take bath with the gopis and the cowherd boys. And along came Advaitacharya in a boat. Lord Nityananda had sent one of the cowherd boys to go and ask Advaitacharya to come from Shanti Niketan with some fresh clothing for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he's swimming, Advaitacharya, what are you doing in Vrindavan? Why are you here? And Advaitacharya said, actually, you're in in the Nadia area. You're in Radhadesh area, along the Ganges. And Lord Chaitanya came out of his trance and he said, Nityananda has cheated me. And Advaita Acharya said, no, actually from Kashi, from Varanasi, the Yamuna and Ganga meet there, and the Yamuna is on the right side, and the Ganga is on the left side. So you're actually swimming in the Yamuna. After this, Advaita Acharya took Nimai and Nitai to his house and prepared wonderful prasadam for the brothers Nimai and Nitai, and this was going to be the beginning of the Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki. Hare Krishna. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay, so now
All right.
we'll go back to Triveni Sangam and we'll be having darshan up there, and then we'll go to Panchaveni.
Okay. We're going now to where? Triveni Sangam. And then after that, Panchabeni, the bridge, Lord Chaitanya's bridge. So we're heading towards Sri Calcutta.
Okay, kirtan. Kirtan room. আপনি একটু রেস্ট নিয়ে অন্য কাউকে দিন, তারপর আবার ওই দিকটা গিয়ে আপনি গাইবেন। আসুন আপনি একটু ঠান্ডা গেল তাড়াতাড়ি, ঠান্ডা লাগছে ভাই। সন্ধ্যাবেলা তুমি গাইবে অনেক স্লো গেলে দেরি হয়ে যাবে। কীর্তন স্যার তো ভালো একটু তেল নাই গাড়ি দাঁড়িয়ে এই নৌকা স্টার্ট করো, আমরা তাড়াতাড়ি যেতে হবে।
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Hare